Rango 2011 is a cinematic masterpiece. Let me just preface this review by saying that I'm not even biased because I never watched Rango as a kid. I watched it just last year and it has become one of my favorite animated movies. It's even currently in my top 10 movies of all time. It won Best Picture of the Year in 2011.
And the Oscar goes to Rango!
Along with many other awards, and was praised by critics. And it deserved all the praise. It's a fantastic movie. The soundtrack is full of bangers that I unironically listen to. The performances of Rango are next level. I mean, they were literally acted out by the actors in real life to give the animators something to go off of, which just shows the effort that went into this masterpiece. Instead of recording voiceovers in booths with every actor isolated from everyone else, most of the voiceover work was recorded on a set, with the actors voicing their characters while performing with their fellow cast members. Same thing was done for Shark Tale 2004. If Shark Tale also did it, you know it's good. And this movie's story, I mean, come on, it's just amazing. It shouldn't work. A story about an actor lizard that pretends to be a badass gunslinger in a Wild West story with animals should not work. But it just does, because it's obvious that a lot of love went into this movie. For a film by Nickelodeon, it's actually pretty deep and has a lot of metaphors and symbolism. Did Rango die, and is the other side of the road the afterlife? Did any of the movie even really happen? Is Beans single, and can I date her? The movie creates so many questions that's just left up to our own interpretation. Me and my friends love Rango, and have even discussed the deeper meaning of the movie. And also, this movie is super badass. The action is so fun to watch, especially near the end when Rango comes back and he's all cool with the poncho and everything. I've said many times, and I'll probably say it more, but when a movie achieves quotability, you know it's good. Just like Monsters, Inc., B-Movie, and Paul Blart Mall Cop, if it's memorable enough for lines to stick with you, it's basically achieved one of the best. My cat's scratching at the door. Stop. Get out. Why are you doing this? What do you have to say for yourself? If you can somehow hear cat purring, I'm really sorry. If it's memorable enough for lines to stick with you, it's basically achieved one of the best statuses a comedy can have. And Rango has some of the best quotes, in my opinion, whether it's funny or badass.
It only takes one bullet. You ain't got the nerve. Try me.
People, we've talked about this. Acting is reacting. Victor, you were wooden. There, I said it.
Johnny Depp's performance as Rango is one of my favorite in any animated movie. I mean, obviously Depp is talented, but his ability to just become the character he portrays in such a creative and funny way is unmatched. To call this movie underrated sounds ridiculous because everyone obviously loves it, right? Well, apparently fucking not. Because for the most part, everyone I've encountered has either not seen the movie or they hated it. When I played Among Us last year, I asked everyone I met, and only 2 people actually had seen this movie, and only 1 actually liked it. I've asked people on Rec Room, and I've met 1 person who knows the film, and then they all banned me from that server because I asked if girls pee out of their vagina, but that's besides the point. There's a good handful of people that I've seen online who like the movie, but I've seen this movie get shit on more than it's been praised. These Google reviews can give you a general example of how fucking stupid some people are. Every time someone even remotely mentions this movie, my spleen explodes, my blood rises to a boil, and my mind is filled with epinephrine. I hate this movie so much that I sorrow for the producers, not because it is their fault, but just for the fact that anyone within 100 miles of this movie at any time could develop prostate cancer and ligma. I hate this movie so much that it's my least favorite movie ever. It makes me want to scratch out my eyeballs with a rusty fork. Rango is an insult to chameleons. Instead of the death penalty, there should be the Rango penalty, where inmates are forced to watch this awful cinematic train wreck on repeat. And I bet you that crime rates will go down because no one will want to be forced to do that. I hate Rango with a burning passion. Please do not watch this movie. It has multiple racist lines toward an indigenous-based character and has an extremely sacrilegious scene. That is not okay. These are major issues and extremely offensive. There are countless sexual jokes as well. What are you trying to tell children? Okay, this review is just ridiculous. That's why they're called jokes. It's just to make the movie funnier for adults or older kids, which is actually what Rango's target audience is. This movie has drinking, smoking, cursing, and guns. It's not made for little toddlers. And even if a child did watch it, It's completely harmless to their little brains because the sexual stuff goes right over their head. And compared to Shrek, B-Movie, or even SpongeBob, this movie is pretty tame when it comes to inappropriate jokes. The only one I can remember off the top of my head is the
Are those real?
joke, and that's just funny. Also, this movie is not racist. They make some jokes about Native Americans and have a Native American character, but it's just a joke and has no real racist meaning.
I already had to explain that offensive jokes are meant to be taken seriously, and now humor is a way to cope with terrible things in an argument over social media. And then another argument on my message group chat I was added to with a bunch of strangers so they could be angry at me for having an opinion, but they weren't open to a different point of view. So the argument was pointless, and they basically deducted that since I like dark humor, that somehow makes me homophobic and racist, even though that's not even true. But
yeah, the jokes on Rango aren't racist. I loved everything about the Psy move. 1 star. Rango has been underappreciated for years. While there's still many people with common sense that like the movie, it still gets way more hate than it deserves. You most likely watched it as a kid and hated it, but give it another try in your teens or adulthood and tell me you still hate it. Since Rango isn't Disney or DreamWorks, as a kid you might not have even experienced this god tier movie, but I implore you to watch it if you like movies that are good. It's on Netflix right now and maybe Hulu, and if you hate this movie, I'd honestly love to hear what's wrong with you in the comments, because most of the arguments I've heard is, well, I just don't like it. I don't know if you noticed, but nobody in those reviews had a good reason not to like it, and I've yet to hear a good criticism. And if you watch my videos for a little while, you know how often I reference this movie. Rango on Blu-ray. Just watch Rango 2011, baby. It's the best West. But you know what's the best movie? Rango. Is Rango 2011 on Blu-ray. From out of the darkness, a man came into...
Champion of the Fandango. By night he drank with
Can you stop? Can you stop?
And yeah, it's kind of a meme at this point, but I genuinely do love Rango. Also, hey, I got 50 subscribers. That's pretty neat. I mean, at the end of the day, I just make these videos for fun and to feel like I accomplished something, but I mean, it would be even more fun if you subscribed. So yeah, bottom line is Rango is an awesome movie, and I'm glad I can finally make a positive review for once. Something I haven't done in about 6 months. It's funny, action-packed, has great music, great characters, and performances. The animation still holds up, and Beans is still hot. All memes aside, I will rate this movie honestly, and not give it a joke score or anything. This is my honest rating for Rango 2011. 11 out of 10, baby!